Mic check, mic check. Hold on. Echo going on.
Shalom, Mike good.
Yeah, con.
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say call halal abanaw Yahweh by Shem Mamalak Yahushai. All praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God. Right? Especially, man, for this lesson that we about to put out, man. I want to say salute and shalom to the family out there, the wives, the husbands, the children that follow the Most High in the correct way, right? All the days of their life, man. Daily repenting, right, and turning from their evil habits and evil ways, man. Shalom to y'all. All right, this is not an easy walk, but it's worth it. Shalom.
Con. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, all praise, honor, glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai. Hey, man, it's a lot going on in this world right now. So peace and blessing to the 12 tribes out there, keeping a foot on the ground, staying 10 toes down in this truth, constantly working on their spirit, constantly praying, constantly fasting, and keeping your head on strong, trying to, maneuver throughout the ways of the darkness, man. So if you're watching this live today, man, I hope your day goes well. I hope the rest of your days goes well, and the Most High has favor upon you. We almost out of here, man. We almost out of here. All praise to the Most High, man. It's a beautiful lesson, right? I'm excited.
All praises. So the main reason why I wanted to do this lesson, I wanted to talk about, the flesh and the spirit and killing that flesh, man, right? Killing that flesh and feeding the spirit, right? For me, this not gonna be precept deep, Lord willing, through the spirit, Captain Khalil, right, could get a little bit deeper into different precepts. It's going to be a lot of contextual reading, on my end for the most part, right? Just to kind of get the different spirits that inhabit us or try us, to see if they're gonna, be able to control us. We gotta hone in on these different these spirits, right? That could possibly, hop on us to destroy us or make our life harder. We need to focus, like hone in on these invaders, man. So that's really why I came up with this lesson. I'm gonna start off in Second Samuel, chapter 11, right, going into the story of David and him being enticed by the spiritual demon Satan, right, to steal another man's woman, man. And we need to always lock in and see, when the sin is about to occur, so that way we don't have to do it and repent later, do the sin and repent later. We could just not do the sin, right?
I got it right here. All right, what verse from the top?
From 2.
Verse 2.
11 and 2.
Con. For real quick, family, make sure you please, Baba Kasha, like, share, and subscribe and comment on the video. We want to get that algorithm pushing to help more people build up their spirit, and learn the ways of true guidance that the Most High has bestowed upon us in these last days. All right, Baba Kasha, please like, share, and subscribe. Let me put that down.
And with your comments, let us know. Let us know what y'all would like to see better. How we can improve. What you didn't like, what you liked. Let us know, right? So we could fix certain things. Shalom.
Khan. All right, this is a 2 Samuel 11 and verse 2. And it reads, and it came to pass, with my sharing it? Okay, Khan. And it came to pass in the evening tide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon.
So right now, what we see, right, we see that David right out of his sleep, first thing first, this is what you're gonna do. You either gonna fall down and pray, right? Or an evil spirit is in your brain to make you do whatever. Maybe you swiping on Snapchat, maybe Instagram, maybe Facebook, or maybe you used to have old sites and Satan just pop up and send a link, to your phone about this weird lewd site, man, where you could see, women doing their thing, right? That you ain't supposed to see. But just like that, Satan early in the morning hit David like, look, you woke up, right? It's high tide, the waves is crashing, right? And you see this woman in this shower area, right? What should David have done? He should have realized that, oh, that's a beautiful woman, not my woman. Let me turn around and go back in the crib. But no, right? Satan had already entered and he didn't rebuke him, right? He invited this spirit in, right? And if you got something on that, go right ahead. But I want to
Uh,
continue reading.
I do, real quick.
Con,
Like you said, man, David was already plagued in the mind with these thoughts, and he didn't take the opportunity to do what was necessary for him to beat those thoughts, right? Beat that mind. So let me get a quick precept and we'll jump right back. Right, let's go to. It's like I'm typing wrong area. Proverbs chapter 15. Proverbs chapter 15. Right, this is Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 21. Right, so what we see happening here with David is that he was looking at a woman washing herself, and that it says she was very beautiful to look upon. That's the opportunity where you're gonna be like cast away those thoughts, or you're gonna be like, hey, let me further think about what I'm looking upon in a wrongful, lustful nature, right? Proverbs 15 and 21 says, "Folly." Is that what it wants, Lucky?
shalom, shalom.
Yeah. Let me go down a little bit. Verse 21 says, "Folly is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom." Right. So he was being folly in his mind, foolish in his mind, because he didn't use the wisdom that was supposed to be in place of those thoughts. Right. It was destitute at that point. But it says here, "But a man of understanding walketh uprightly." Right.
Mm,
And our people go through that when we have the understanding in place of where wisdom is supposed to dwell at, but it's not found there, you're destitute and foolishness takes place. Foolish thoughts take place. But a man who has understanding and walks in wisdom and understanding, he's going to walk uprightly. Right, first it comes to the mind, and then you follow that up with your actions. Right, that's all I
mm.
wanted on that.
Con. Cause the big thing about that is beautiful that you brought out that scripture. The big thing about it is soon as those thoughts enter, right, you got to check them at the door, man. It's like somebody that you don't want to come over to your house anymore. You know what I mean? You don't invite them in, then check them. When you already told them, like, man, I ain't messing with you. You feel what I'm saying? You don't invite them in and then check them. As soon as you open the door, you don't even open both doors. You feel what I'm saying? You kind of look at them through the thing like you come back over here, there's gonna be some issues, right?
Uh
Yeah. So these evil spirits, same thing, man. You come back over here, man. You try to come back through here, it's gonna be some issues.
huh. Uh
Mhm.
huh. Going back to Second Samuel. Right. So that's what happened with David. Let me read the last portion of that, right? David, right? And from the roof, he saw a woman washing herself, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon. And David sent and inquired after the woman.
He didn't even like think to say, damn, like, I really don't want to mess with this right now. No, sin don't operate like that. When Satan send that spirit and that spirit get on you, it's a wrap. Like, let's say you deal with a drinking demon, right? Satan to send like 10 videos and make you drive past your favorite spot to stop at. You know what I mean? And if you don't, rebuke that thought, man, you're gonna get enticed, man. You're gonna now you thinking about, you know what? Pacific Island do sound nice, Tropicana, Smirnoff does sound, you know, and now all of a sudden you got the damn thing in your hand, and now you done bought cognac, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So sin entices you like that. Not saying drinking is a sin, but once you reach a certain level, you let other spirits in, right? So what he did was instead of checking the spirit at the door, not a spirit telling him what to do. You know what I mean? The spirit now in control. Hey, go. Hey, you see her? Go ask, who she for, right? Why are you asking these questions? You shouldn't even have thoughts in your mind like that. You the king, right? All you gotta do is say, hey, go get me a virgin from such and such house. What he want for? Okay, 20 G's. All right, I'll get boom, 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 boom. Go ahead, send her over here, right? But no, you don't even respect that. That's your man's. Let's keep reading.
Kind of just a quick point on that. You sitting at the bar, you drinking, you going like this, just looking at that woman with her man, and as soon as he get up to go to the bathroom, hey yo, so and I seen a video on social media the other day, man. He was it's called Risen, what they call I'm about to riz her up, right? So he rizzes her up or games her up like in our day, he's speaking that game. He was talking to her, he's like, yeah, I got a wife. He's like, well, I'm not applying for that. I'm applying to be the side dude. I'm like,
Damn,
man, like now you doing too much, man. This generation is doing too much, right? And what I wanted to point out on that, actually, what I truly wanted, right,
con,
was
con,
verse
right?
26. Was verse 26 in Proverbs 15. It says right here, the thoughts of the wicked, the thoughts, right, of the wicked are an abomination to Yahweh, but the words of the pure are pleasant words. And remember, we speaking these words in our mind first before we utter it out of our lips, right? So if you're thinking wicked thoughts, you're gonna speak wicked sayings. But if you have pure thoughts, you're gonna speak pure words and wise and pleasant words. And that's what David lacked here in this chapter of what we're reading. And now we look at these biblical accounts so we can get the understanding how we shall live our lives contrary to what David was doing, right?
Mm.
Contrary to what the wicked is doing. I just wanted to point that out. I yield on that. I'm going back.
Con, what's so beautiful? What's so beautiful about Yahweh? You know, David is now one of the greatest, right? His story is one of the greatest stories ever told, right? But we're able to look in at these spirits and see that a lot of times the Most High is mad at us, right? I ain't gonna speak for the Most High. So a lot of times it feels like the Most High get mad at us for letting other spirits come in and deter us from the spirit that we was in, right? That righteous spirit, right? I feel like in my own walk that Yahweh get irritated when we let those spirits come in. Like, but he programmed us to let them come in, but then you become one of the greatest, just like David, you know? So, but yeah, let's keep on going, King. Keep on
Con.
going.
Real quick, voice of Yahweh, Shalom, Mak, y'all Bashim Yoshai, Brakatham to y'all mighty brothers out there in the water for looking after the young brother, man, Azariah, right? Peace and blessings to y'all, man. Y'all doing a great work out there for the Most High, Bashim Yoshai. Shalom.
Tune in with those brothers, man. Las Vegas, man. Right, they in
Mm-hmm.
the building. They always out there. Right, all
Con.
praise.
Reading on. Verse 3 again. And David sent and inquired after the woman, and one said, is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite?
He didn't even so the young boy, right? He didn't even go like holler at the woman to talk to her. Yeah, he already knew. Like So, and that's because a lot of time the king he not moving or grooving around all, around all the people. He kind of like taking care of all his household, right? So the young boy, he already know Uriah because he like a buckler, right? Just like Uriah is a captain. So they always probably mobbing, they probably fight together to get their skills up. You know what I mean? So he would Uriah all day, like, hey, I know her. Like, that's, what I mean, that's Uriah wife. You feel what I'm saying? So it's cold blooded because he got checked. David, a righteous spirit, checked that evil spirit that was in David right quick, and then watch what's gonna happen. Like, it's cold because the Most High send you a way out all the time,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's like that one precept. Get that precept for me.
I got you.
Yeah, kind of get that one for me. I kind of
This Job 33 and 14. It says, "For Yahweh speaketh once, yea,
no,
twice."
not that one. Give me um but the Lord deliver him. Said many no every man is tempted,
I
but the
got you.
Lord, yeah.
Yeah, that's a.
I'm thinking about two of them at one time, but it because it got one, many of the afflictions of the righteous, but Yahweh deliver them out of them all. But then there's the Most High don't tempt you more than you are able. That one.
Con.
Salaki, yeah, that one right there. Because that's what's crazy. He checked them. He sent the spirit to check the evil spirit that got into David. He like, look, I'm gonna send the young boy to check you right quick, let you know that that's the bro wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, read that for me right quick.
God, this First Corinthians 10 and 13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man.
Mm-hmm.
But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able.
So the Lord give you, you know what I mean? He give you the way out, you know what I mean? But our stupid self, we so fleshly sometimes that we don't even realize that a spirit that hopped on us. You know what I mean? Like me and you, we were just on that call earlier, and I'm checking spirits that's within me, just talking to you. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm like, damn, boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? And I can see that there's a spirit on you, and I'm not trying not to really give that spirit no power. You
we
know what
met
I
we
mean?
met
And
we met half we met halfway on that. Like mine was instant. You see,
yeah, yeah,
I came out here with some joy. I'm excited.
God. So it's like the Lord always gonna give you a way out. You just have to make that voice louder, right, than this flesh voice. And the way to do that, prayer, fasting, reading, meditation, supplication, right? These different powerhouses that Yahweh give us to charge our spirit, we gotta make sure that we charge, man. Right? So these spirits don't take us over, man. Right? So the
Mm-hmm.
Lord, He gives us a way out. He said He ain't gonna tempt you above that which you are able. Right? Go ahead.
But will with the temptation also make a way to escape,
And
that that ye may be able to bear it.
go ahead, Doc. I know you got some fire on that.
So look, man, the Most High is gonna give you something, right? And that's a key part of affliction, right? Either you cooking up some barbecue, right? And like the other day, during tabernacles, Cabin Gabawar was over there hot on what I'm saying, trying to flip the thing, burning through the fire, but he was still able to bear it, man. That fire wasn't too much for him. He was still able to dig over there. What I'm saying, my rib was like, dang, like you reaching all in and the flames is shooting up. But hey, man, that's how temptation hit us. Temptation might
Mm-hmm.
scourge us and burn us in little parts of our hands and our fingers or whatnot, but you're still able to bear it. That chicken was still able to get flipped. So it's not going to be too much to where you can't say you can't, right? The Most High is never going to put you in a position to where you're not going to be able to come out of it. Chastisement, affliction, and all of this stuff purifies us, in our daily walk, man. So we got to understand that whatever temptation is hitting our people, whatever spirits dwell upon our people, there's always going to be a way to escape. We just have to have enough trust and faith in the Most High that He's going to help us get through it, man.
And to that point too, and we could go back to Samuel with King David. To that point too, even last night, the Lord put a dream in my head, man, about me snorting some cocaine. You feel what I'm saying? And like just a whole party thing going on, like. And then when I woke up in the morning, you heard me, I had to like sit down and repent just even for that dream. Like, I don't know why that dream inhabited me, Lord, but Lord, please take that away. You feel what I'm saying? But these are temptations that come, man. Like that could have easily put a spirit on me that, the Most High made me dream it. It must not be bad. No, bro, we gotta check all these evil spirits, man. Right, and that checking come with repentance, man. Quick repentance, right? Even repentance before repenting. He said, "Nah, I forsake that before. I ain't doing that again." That's repentance before repentance. You feel what I'm saying? Forsaking, right? Remembering that you forsook that, right? Let's get it.
And on that point, I had a dream a few weeks ago about smoking marijuana again, man. And what the Most High is trying to do is what he's trying to see, because in our dreams we still are susceptible to the same feelings, which will be pleasure, joy, mirth, excitement. All of this stuff happens within our dreams. So when we're in our dream state and we partying and we smoking and drinking, the pleasure starts to try to set back in place, the joy of it, and all of this stuff, the reminiscent and the nostalgic feeling of what we used to do, of the joy and mirth we used to have in the world doing all of these things, creeps back in, right? So we have to rebuke those when we come out of that dream state as well. Like, damn, why was I dreaming about, man? I was happy to chill with the homies. We was smoking. Like, why did I dream about that? I'm in this truth now. So it's a beautiful thing that you said. I had to repent even from that dream. Hey, that's a deep thought right there to have. That's
God,
powerful. Powerful.
because it's spirits. You know what I mean? So let's get it up in Second Samuel. These spirits is crazy, bro. Read verse 3 again.
Verse 3 again. It says, and David sent and inquired after the woman, and one said, is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite?
And
And they
you gotta think too. So they in the group, the other people they don't know, right? So they just mobbing and they listening to David, right? The young boy, he has stepped in the, like, you could just picture it, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Maybe him and the little partner he always with, they he kind of tap him and sit back like, let's holler at David right quick. You feel what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know what I mean? They mobbing 10 deep, whatever, you know what I mean? And then he just look at him like, bro, ain't that your boy wife? Like,
yeah.
and David, you know what I mean? And the evil spirit that's in David, like, man, fuck that, man. I'm the king, bro. Go get that. You know what I mean? Like,
Man.
damn. Like, when you read this script, man, put yourself this real, like, this NIGGAs, man, right? These really, like, the people that we call Mexicans right now, like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't, nigga ain't just letting shit slide like that, but some people let it slide and they went walk to go get the girl, right? But the two in the back, they're like, you know what I mean? And they strapped, you feel what I'm saying? They like, ask them, like, bro, like, you know what I mean? I don't think that, you know what I mean? I don't think that's the right decision, right? But let's go, let's read.
God. Verse 4. And David sent messengers and took her.
And what?
And took her.
So he told him, it don't say what he said, but hey, look, niggas, go get her anyway. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This evil spirits that could get in you, man. This is why having money is not everything. Having money will make you get power hungry and you'll start tripping out, moving in all these different ways. This is how you get rappers sleeping with other rappers' women, right? Then you get rappers taking other niggas' wives that's in the crowd, bringing them home for a one night stand, right? All this stuff happened right? Because they let these spirits get in them, man, right? These take charge as money, power hungry spirits, right? They let them take over, man. And we got to check these things, bro, for real. I'm going to keep saying that, right?
Con. And right here is powerful, right? Because this is on another fold would apply to the women on how they should conduct themselves as well. Because when he sent the messengers, I was like, go holla, man, don't she got a wife, bro? It's like, hey, man, still, right? So they went and got her, and guess what? They coming back with her, you know, at the other end of the bar over to where he's sitting down at. She could have, yeah, hey, no, I'm
Man,
married. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I'm not doing that. This and that. Nah, she willingly came. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, he's in the bathroom, but oh, all right. Let me go talk to him. He is kind of cute, you know. And so she didn't
And you
rebuke
do got
her.
money.
Yeah, he do got money, you know. So she didn't rebuke her thoughts either. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't 10 toes down and steadfast on the man she was with. Well, he is in the bathroom, you know. For he just left. Maybe I got about 5 minutes. Let me go talk to him, you know. And so she leaves the bar or her stool on the bar, goes to where he's sitting there, and be like, yeah, well, here, take my number, you know, this and that. He's about to be coming out soon. I'll call you later. You know what I'm saying? Now night flings is happening. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Evil thoughts is happening. Yeah, he went to work the next day calling him. Yeah, he went to work, come through. You know? So that's wicked on a woman's behalf as well. And took
and
her.
that's that same spirit, man. That spirit of entitlement, dog. That same spirit, man.
Mm-hmm. Right? And she came in unto him and he lay with her.
Simple as that. She probably went in there, bro. Like she was already just only a towel. You know what I mean? They snatch her up, bring her in there. She just walk on in and drop the towel. Like, what's up? Like, let's do it. Like, what? You know what I mean? But this is the spirits that we let to inhabit us, man. It's crazy, right? So, you know, we got to kill the flesh. This has everything to do with your flesh being more loud, right, than your spirit. How is this fleshly? How is this carnal? Because both of them got the same thought in the mind, right? Maybe she saw David when David was dancing, you know, and his shirt came off. You know what I mean? Maybe she was taking looks at David. You know what I mean? When he was in the shower area, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like these spirits, man, they fester. They fester. That one precept in Wisdom of Solomon where it says, you know, you give place for sin, and then what it says that sin is conceived, right? Or death is conceived, something like that. But it's only a matter of time before you put your hand to do it if you keep thinking about it, right? But we gotta kill off this flesh,
Mm. God. Read on.
man. God,
God. It says, and David sent messengers and took her, and she came in unto him, and he lay with her, for she was purified from her uncleanness, and she returned unto her house.
says she, yeah, damn, she, damn. So you thinking about it like, you know what I mean? Yeah, she just washed, right? She washed last night. So
Mm.
evening went past, boom, she gotta be clean to lay with her, even if she do got a husband, right? Right? Like this gotta be, this is too much, man. You know what I mean? And then she returned to her house, and this happens, right? And we're gonna end off on this story, right? Go ahead.
God. And the woman conceived and sent and told David and said, I am with child.
Khan, I am with child, right? So now David committed adultery, right? And there's a whole thing where, you know, it's a lot of madness, man. Didn't he like this spirit was on David for way too goddamn long? I'm just gonna say that. Read the next verse. This spirit, this was too much. Like,
Mm-hmm. And
read the next
David,
verse.
verse 6, and David sent to Joab, saying, send me Uriah the Hittite. And Joab sent Uriah to David.
So
And when
now here's the point where David is being crafty instead of repenting, right? Now he's being damn sneaky and crafty, right? How long was the spirit on David? Because this had to be about a month. She had to miss her period,
Mm-hmm.
right? She had to miss her period, man, for this to be in season, right? So it had to be 2 weeks to a month, right? And now this spirit's still on David. Go give me Joab. I mean, go give me Uriah. He told Joab, right? Read 7.
Verse 7. And when Uriah was come unto him, David demanded of him how Joab did, and how the people did, and how the war prospered.
Right. So now he trying to have a friendly conversation with a dude that he just banged his woman, right? And had a baby with her. Right. Now he's inquiring, trying to be friendly, man. Right. Every man is friendly for his own occasion. Soon as
Mm.
you're going through trouble, right? He won't be there with you, right? Just like Sirach chapter 7 and 6 and 7, right? So now he trying to be friendly with Uriah, like he, you know what I mean? He being a damn demon. He got a demon on him. Verse 8.
Verse 8. And David said to Uriah, go down to thy house and wash thy feet. And Uriah departed out of the king's house, and there followed him a mess of meat from the king.
And he now I'm gonna send you wine, I'm gonna send you food with you right behind you, right? So I know what you're gonna do after you get some good food and you and some wine, you know. And he being friendly the whole time. David being friendly, right? This is a long time for a spirit to be on you, man. Right?
Man,
This is a long time.
that's wicked, man. You just smacked somebody's wife. 3-4 days later, you like, hey man, anything you need, bro, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I got your backer. Oh man, that's
It's
too much
madness.
for the
That's
mind,
a
man.
that's a long time, bro, for a spirit to be on you. Right? We be getting mad at our women because they hold their grudges for so damn long. Look at David, man. He conniving and sneaky. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather you hold a grudge on me than be do this.
God.
All right. Go ahead.
Verse 9. But Uriah slept at the door of the king's house with all the servants of his lord, and went not down to his house.
And you could tell, bro, Uriah was probably was walking, we was walking close, you know, like getting further away. You see the people following him with the stuff. Like, nah, man, nah, I'm not doing this. Right? Why I'm gonna do that? You know? So
Mm-hmm.
like this is a beautiful story, man, because it also shows you, you know, how to be a loyal brother, right? How to be a loyal sister. You know what I mean? Like it's dope right here. Okay, so go ahead. He slept by the door with his servant.
Mm-hmm. Verse 10. And when they had told David, saying, Uriah went not down into his house, David said
Mm-hmm.
unto Uriah, camest thou not from thy journey? When why then didst thou not go down unto thine house?
So now we see, right, that David is still like, damn, now he got the spirit of fear on him, right? Once you let one demon in, they got 7 more that follow. Now he got a damn spirit of now he what's this? Hold on, let me read this again, my bad. Oh, he got this damn spirit, you know what I mean, of damn, my phone about to die, King.
So with David's like, because he's asking like, didn't you just come from a long journey? Like, why didn't you go down to the house and chill at your house? You know, relax, eat some of the meat, eat some of the wine I just gave you. Like, basically, he's vexed in his mind. Like why are you staying here, man? I basically bribed you to go get away from me. You know what I'm saying? Go to your own place. You know what I'm saying? But now since Uriah is staying right there in front of his door with the other servants, he's kind of, damn. Is he thinking? Does he know? Does he know what I did? Why is he staying here? I tried to send him away so I can have ease of mind, you know. So these thoughts are going on in David's head. So now when we read verse 11, it says, and Uriah said unto David, the ark and Israel and Judah abide in tents, and my lord Joab and the servants of my Lord are encamped in the open fields. Shall I then go into mine house to eat and to drink and to lie with my wife? As thou livest, and as thy soul liveth, I will not do this thing. So he wants to still be around with his brothers, right? His war buddies. He's still in the spirit of, hey, yeah, I'm with the brothers right now. You know, I'm not finna just go and make merry or eat and drink and go lie with my wife. I'm not ready to go to the house yet, right? And David said to Uriah, tarry here today also, and tomorrow I will let thee depart. So Uriah abode in Jerusalem that day and the morrow. So David told him, like, look, just stay here then, right, today, and tomorrow I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go back to out to war, right, with the brothers. And when David had called him, he did eat and drink before him, and he made him drunk. And at even, he went out to lie on his bed with his servants of his Lord, with the servants of his Lord, but went not down to his house. And it came to pass in the morning that David wrote a letter to Joab and sent it by the hand of Uriah. And when he wrote in the letter saying, set ye Uriah in the forefront of the hottest battle, and retire ye from him, that he may be smitten and die. That's crafty, man. That's crafty. So we see what's happening here is that David already had this idea and this plan to send Uriah to the forefront of the hottest battle, right? He's going to end up dying because he's right on the front liners, you know? So he tried to give him the opportunity and the leisure to look, man, just go home. You know what I'm saying? Here's some meat, here's some wine, go drink, go with your wife, go chill with your household. Because what I'm about to do is you're not gonna come back from that. But Uriah didn't necessarily know that's the plan that David had for him, right? So therefore, Uriah was like, look, man, I'm just gonna chill here. You know, I'm ready to go back out there to the field with the brothers, you know what I'm saying, for the name of the Lord. But hey, man, this is crafty counsel that's going on in David's mind. Uriah was oblivious to it. So it's a whole lot of spirits that David had on him for him to even think such thoughts. You know, so what we got to understand is that we're always plagued with certain temptations and spirits in the daily walk that we do for this truth, right? Like Sirach chapter 2 tells us, if you come to serve the Lord, you know, prepare your soul for temptation, right? Prepare to be afflicted, prepare to be in a battle between the flesh and the spirit, right? So therefore, it's very important that we read these biblical accounts in the lens of knowing that they are of our forefathers and our foremothers, the records of them, right? Our historical records. When you read these biblical accounts, you get the understanding like, man, I'm not going to do what our forefathers did in that account. I'm not going to do what our foremothers did in that account. I'd rather do what our forefathers and foremothers did in this account, right? Spiritual and fleshly, right? So it's very important that we read these historical records so we can know how to maneuver in these last days, right? We know how to tame the spirit in these last days. I mean, it's like tame the flesh in these last days and walk more in the spirit, right? Y'all follow me? So this is what we have to do. So this is a very powerful chapter right here about what David did, man. Second Samuel, right? Let me know if y'all follow along with me. Let me get a con in the chat, right? Before I move on to some more precepts, right? Let's go to 2 Corinthians 10. Oops, my bad. It's locked here, y'all. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 10 and verse number 4, right? Matter of fact, start at verse verse 3. It says, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds. Right? You ever seen calcium or calluses and things like that? Things that mold and take shape and gradually over time over compass certain parts of your body, right? You want to constantly shave off those shavings, right? You want to have a spiritual forefront and spiritual weapons to pull down the strongholds that plague you in the spirit, right? Because if you do acts in the flesh is going to start to leak into your spirit, tainting your spirit, right? So we need to know what these things are, right? What makes me go off? What makes me tempted? What makes me susceptible to sin? We have to identify these things within our bodies, within our minds, so we can be able to know how to maneuver to pull something down, right? If you see a leaning tower, right? Are you going to hit the side that's not leaning, or are you going to hit on the side that's leaning? Let me hit this part of the tower, that little wood piece that's kind of crumbling down at the bottom. Let me knock that down so the whole tower can fall down, right? This is how we attack the flesh, man, right? With spiritual thoughts. Going on, verse 5. Casting down imaginations. Let's go into that word for imagination. Let's see what that word means. Let's get deeper on that, right? Logismos in the Greek, casting down imaginations, a reckoning, computation, a reasoning such as is hostile to the Christian faith, a judgment, decision such as conscience passes, right? Evil thoughts, imagination. Now let's get that in the actual definition. Watch this. Right? The faculty or action of forming new ideas or images or concepts of external objects not present to their senses. So you're over here forming thoughts, right? You're actually bringing these thoughts into an image in your mind. You're picturing the situation, right? Of things that are not even outside of your external sense. They're in your internal mind that you're imagining these things, right? It's not made manifest. You sitting in the car, like, okay, yeah, I'm about to rob this bank, right? You're not literally in the bank. You don't see the vault in front of you. You probably down the street from the bank. You don't even see the front door of the bank, but you're imagining the front door of the bank. You're imagining the vault of the bank. You're imagining how to get in there. You imagine putting the money in the bag and you're out there driving away, man, right? So that's what imagination means. Let's go back, right? Now, imagination, right? And it says casting down imaginations. So now, what kind of imaginations is it talking about? So you can imagine you in the kingdom. You can imagine I'm outside going to camp teaching the people. I can imagine, okay, I'm reading Second Corinthians chapter 3 to chapter 4, right? We can think of these external thoughts that are not present at the time, right? These eternal thoughts that are not present at the time, right? The imaginations is talking about are wicked imaginations, right? Fleshly imaginations, and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh. So when it means it exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh, because the knowledge of the Most High is going to give you a guidance and proper tools, right, to walk in the spirit and to dwell your mind in the spirit. Our people, we like to exalt fleshly imaginations, fleshly desires against the knowledge of the Most High. It's contrary to his guidance. It's contrary to the understanding of what he told us on how to think in the spirit, right? We put the flesh over the spirit, for lack of better terms, right? And bring it into captivity, every thought to the obedience of Yahweh Shai. What does it mean, bring into captivity? Meaning you're getting a rope, these thoughts, these temptations start to creep up in your mind. You need to get that rope tied up, hog tie it, put double locks on it, open up that basement door and just push it in there and close that thing. Put a code on the damn thing so they can't break out, right? We need to capture these thoughts, right? And when we capture these thoughts of wickedness and sin and fleshly desires and temptations, we're leaning more on the obedience of Yahweh Shai. That action of doing so means you're applying yourself to lean more on obeying Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. See that? So that's what we got to do, people. Let me know if y'all follow along with me. Y'all got that? Khan, who's with me on here? Let me get a con in the chat if y'all with me, man. All praises, all praises. Right. So now I'm just gonna keep going on till Cap gets back. Let's go ahead and go to let's go to Second Esdras, chapter 12. Right. Ox having some technical difficulties. His phone died in the midst of the live. But I'm gonna keep kicking up for y'all. Right, 47. Let me start up a little bit, probably. Verse 43, right? It says, "Are not the evils?" Let me start up. Verse 42, watch this. It says, "For of all the prophets, thou only art left us, as the cluster of the vintage, and as the candle in the dark place, and as a haven or ship preserved from the tempest." Right. So, of all the prophets of old, all of our forefathers, right? Everything they did was walking in more of absolute righteousness rather than what we're doing now, right? That's why the scripture says wickedness shall be increased in the last days, right? We had a whole communities at a point in time where we were keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, walking in His ways, and we actually had a nation, right? But in the times that we're living in now, there's only a few of us that are left of that time, right? Certain brothers and sisters walking in the light in the midst of this dark giant cave that we live in this modern world, right? When it says here as the cluster of the vintage, right? You have a vintage. Let's see what that means. Vintage. I think it's going into a type of fruit. Oh, I spelled it wrong. It's gonna give me some wall art. Right here. Look, the year or place in which wine, especially wine of high quality, was produced. Con, you there? You back? Okay. So let me get this real quick. I'm
pull
gonna
it
be right
up.
back.
Pull it up on the screen.
Right. The year or place in which wine, high quality, was produced. High quality, prime, right? Superior, best. Going into that word for vintage, right? So right here, when we read this, as a cluster of the vintage, right? A cluster of the vintage, meaning the prime state, right? Of before wine is even produced, it's on a vine, right? It's a cluster of grapes, right? So we were in a prime state before you're turned into wine. You understand? Basically, the end result of after the cluster of grapes is what we are now, right? Just like it says, for all the prophets, we're only left, right? We don't have giant communities of Bethel, Bethulia, Jerusalem, Shiloh. We don't have communities where we're acting in a state of righteousness as a nation as a whole. We're speckled everywhere now, right? Little lights in this dark world everywhere now. The end result of that, right? And it says, and as a candle in a dark place, right? The dark place is an absolute glowing with righteousness now. You probably just look in a dark cave and see a little light at the end. That's where we're at right now, right? Why? Because sin is increased in these last days. Wickedness is abound even on a higher level in these last days. And as a haven or ship preserved from the tempest. So you might have a whole armada of 100 to 1,000 ships sailing on a sea, right? That's how we were in the past, right? But now we probably have 2, 3 to probably 10 ships that made it through the storms, right? Everybody else got tossed to and fro and shipwrecked, man. Now they sinking, right? So we're that little bit of 5 to 10 ships that are left in these last days. Verse 43 says, "Are not the evils which are come to us sufficient?" Yeah, they are. because it proves us. It makes us rethink where we're at in these last days and where we came from to make us want to keep going. Oh man, we can't do a lot, man. Like we can't just give up now. We got to keep running the race. We got to keep fighting these spirits. We got to stay 10 toes down, stay steadfast in this thing. Right? Verse 44. If thou shalt forsake us, how much better had it been for us if we also had been burned in the midst of Sion? Right? So if the Most High forsakes us, it's saying like we should have just died in Jerusalem. We should have just died in 70 AD, all of us, right? But no, the Most High has enough mercy and long suffering to keep giving us that chance to keep going forward. Verse 45. For we are not better than they that died there. And they wept with a loud voice. Then answered I them and said, be of good comfort, O Israel, and be not heavy, thou house of Jacob, for the highest hath you in remembrance, and the mighty hath not forgotten you in temptation. You see that?
Yeah.
So you might be tempted, man. We should just die, man. Like, man, I'm tired of this captivity. I'm tired of fighting this flesh. I'm tired of I'm just sick of it, man. Right? That's why it says here, and be not heavy, because it's good for you that you should go through these things. And even when you're going through these things, it's gonna mold you into gold, right? Then rather just give up and die. No, I'm proving you to be something. You're gonna be that 10 ships that made it out of the thousands in the armada. You're gonna be that 10 ships that make it to the shore. If you keep faith, if you keep being guided by the spirit and not the flesh, right? Don't be heavy, right? Don't let it get to you. You vexed, I know, but fight that vexation, because there's an ultimate reward at the end. And remember that the Most High what has not forgotten you in those temptations. That's mighty right there, man. I love that one. And I yield with that. You got something, King? Or you reading? Oh, you froze. You froze. I was like, I thought you was just focused, but you was over there frozen. You got something, King? What you got next?
First Kings chapter 11 and verse number 4.
Gone. Ray,
Uh,
Ray of Bone. Huh?
let's start at 1.
Gone. First Kings 11 and verse number 1. It says, but King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites. Okay, I'll just make sure you ain't froze. Verse 2. Of the nations concerning which Yahweh said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love.
Meaning he did it anyway, right? And that's fleshly, man. When you living in the spirit, you're gonna listen to what the Lord said, right? Go get Hebrews no, Romans 7 and 14, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, man, if you listen to the Lord, man, you living in the spirit, man. When you not listening to the Lord, you living in the flesh, man. You know, and the Lord is looking for those that's willing to live in the spirit sincerely and in truth. Right? Go ahead.
Khan, Shalom, Malak, good to see you in the chat. I'll call praises to the Most High. Romans 7 and 14 says, for we know that the law is spiritual.
Which meaning whatever Yahweh commands you not to do or to watch out for, and if you do it, repent. All these things that the Lord tells you not to do, don't do them, and that's how you live spiritual. But when you do the opposite of what the Lord tell you to do or not to do, you living in the flesh, man. Right? Like when Saul, he had a spirit hop on him, tell him to allow the other people to take these sheep so we could offer it unto God, right? And save the king, because we're gonna make him a spectacle. Right? The Lord told you to go in the Amalekites area, right? And kill them all. But no, a spirit hop on you to tell you, nah, you ain't gotta kill them all. You know, hey man, we gotta watch out, man. Read on.
Con. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin.
Khan, and he's saying that, man, I feel like I'm fleshly. You know what I mean? But really simple and plain, he's just saying I'm flesh though, and this flesh is sold under sin, right? But I want to do these things though, right? So we see, man, that this flesh, man, it'll hype itself up. Go back to King
Con.
Khan. So what I wanted to talk about, it says Solomon clave unto these in love, right? Lord already told you don't deal with them because they're gonna turn you away to serve other gods, and he go cleave unto them in love. He loved the Moabite, he loved the Edomite, he loved the Ishmaelite, the Zidonian, he loved them, right? This is why nowadays we tell our people, bro, don't go have relations with those women, right? Period. But let's go. Let's keep reading.
Con. Verse 3. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart.
Khan and his wives and his concubines, they turned away his heart, man, because they not living in the laws of God, right? They living in the ways of man, right? And when and after this, man, after Solomon, bro, it just all went, everything went to hell, man. You feel what I'm saying? There's a
Mhm.
whole bunch of mishigas that happened after Solomon, man, because one king go off, you have five kings go off, right? Consecutively. Now we don't have the kingdom for this amount of time because you let an evil spirit get on you, right? Read on.
Read on. Verse 4. For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods,
Mm-hmm.
and his heart was not perfect with Yahweh his power, as was the heart of David his father.
And you hear this a lot in the scriptures when we read on in Kings, man. His heart was not, as his father, and his was just like his father, evil and wicked, right? Through the spirit, man, you see that these women, they waited till Solomon didn't have his strength anymore, waited till they already seduced him on a high level, and then they started asking him to fund their damn habit, man, of serving these wretched ass gods, man. You know, and we have to make sure that we pay attention, man, to these evil spirits because they come in the form of a woman. They come in a form of like you was talking about earlier, of beauty, of passion, of these different like pleasures. You know what I mean? Like you was talking about that earlier, and that's how these evil spirits come in because they make it look so sweet. They make it look so good, so yummy, like a cupcake with all the sprinkles on top, right? And then you eat it and you full of damn death now. Sometimes you sin and you don't know you sin because it tastes so good. You didn't realize it was sin.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, we gotta watch out, man. Right? So we see what happened to Solomon. Why? Women enticed him. When he got older, they took advantage, right? So as we looking at these two different stories, the main thing that we see is once you let a spirit come in, it's there to make you fully go off. This spirit is not there for a good time, right? It's not there for a small time. This spirit is like a parasite, and all it wants to do is feed off of your good energy and bring you to a damn to darkness, right? Want to feed off of your light until it takes all of the light away from you and have you move around in darkness, man. So our main thing is that we have to realize we got to check these spirits at the door, and that's when you hyper focus on spiritual things and you allow the flesh to decay,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's how you're able to notice these evil spirits before they come in, right? And when you're drinking, when you're smoking, when you're constantly eating edibles or whatever else you indulge in, you leave after a certain point of time, you leave a doorway open, and it's like boom, boom. Hey, we in this thing. I'm gonna leave the door open for you. You coming in at 10, right? I'm gonna leave the door open for you, right?
or
Come
or
on,
or
man.
or you ain't careful enough, man, and you got spirits waiting outside your house, like, hey man, hey, I notice he leave his door unlocked every time he leaves at 5 o'clock. I'm gonna wait till he
Yeah,
leave, kind of, you know what I'm saying, slip up in there, you know.
yeah,
Ah, man, you
yeah.
gotta
We
make sure
seen
you
that. We
lock
saw
that
that with
thing up.
David.
Yeah.
We saw that with David. Spirit was
Con,
waiting out there in the bushes, like, oh, he when he wake up, he don't fall down and pray. Let me get up in there.
let me I got a precept on this one right here, real quick. First Timothy.
I got a couple more, then we gonna get on off of here.
Con. First Timothy 6 and verse number 9. Watch this, right? It says, "But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a
Mm,
snare," right?
mm,
So of course we know that money, right, is one of the highest forms of temptation because it opens up a floodgate of many other temptations and fleshly lusts that's gonna come into you. Just having $1 billion, you're gonna think you're gonna be doing whatever you want to do, right?
mm,
But the fold I'm trying to use on here is to be rich, meaning when you value something higher than the other, right? You put more value in stuff of this world and stuff contrary to the value of the Most High's ways, right? Like on the last lesson we brought out, what do you value more, this world or the kingdom? Right. So Solomon here, he valued the teachings of his wives. He valued the having the to like loving his wives, even though the Most High said don't do it. Hey, but hey, I know the Lord said don't do it, but hey, she looking kind of bad though. Hey, you don't like chick, our people do that. So
mm.
having a value in this instance put him in temptation, and as a result of that temptation, put him in a snare at the end of that, right?
Yeah.
And in and
So
into
watch
men.
out, Salakia. So watch out what you value.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
Damn. Go ahead.
And into many foolish and hurtful lusts. These lusts, as a result, you might think you walking through a regular bush, right? And then I'm fine, but when you come out of that field of that bush, man, guess what? It's poison ivy at the end of the day. Now you got rashes all up on you. Now you're scratching, you're itching, right? 2 hours after you scratching and itching, now you breathing heavy, because you didn't watch where you was walking and you thought this field was gonna be good enough for you to tread through. Now at the end of that, man, you hurting, you know, which drown men in destruction and perdition. Now you
Damn.
drowning. Hey, I'm swimming. You know what I'm saying? Don't go out too far into the water. Yeah, I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Next thing you know, you lost that sea, man. He was swimming about 30 minutes ago. The waves kind of took him out. I don't know where he's at. They got a whole search party out there looking for you. Got helicopters looking out. Now, next thing you know, they tell your folks, hey, sorry, we put in all the efforts. We couldn't find that man. He drowned. Man. So watch what you value, man, because that value, if you put in the value of something contrary to the Most High's value, you're going to drown, man.
Damn.
That's just what it is, man. you know?
That, that's tough right there, bro. That's tough. You
Man, that was
gotta
through the
watch what
spirit.
you watch. You gotta watch what you value, man. Hey, look, man. Value will take you into deep waters, and then you end up lost at sea. That's heavy, right? Damn. Okay. All praise to the Most High. You had me thinking. I was thinking deep right there, bro. You had me all the way. I was in deep waters, man.
Man,
That's good right there. If y'all can't eat off of that, I don't know what's wrong with you. Right. But
yeah,
Galatians 5 and verse number 16.
classic, huh? I can bring it out
Yeah,
the classic. Let's go. Let's go.
yeah, let's do it.
hmm
Let's start let's start earlier than that. Let's start at 14.
14. Come.
Mm-hmm.
Galatians 5 and verse 14. It says, For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Go ahead.
But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye be not consumed one of another.
So it's saying love is that fulfill the whole law, right? Because you're gonna pay attention and make sure you don't break it, right? But it says, but if ye bite and devour one another, take heed ye be not consumed of one another. So if I offend you, right, or if I need something from you and you give it to me, and or all these situations, different situations happen, right? Don't let that biting, right, turn into consumptions, meaning you hate me. You don't want to ever talk to me again. You don't want to see me, right? You have to, because the thing is that just as much as you love, there comes mercy with love. You have to show mercy to your fellow brother and sister when they bite you, when they offend you, right? Because these things will happen. Brothers will offend you. Brothers might get on your nerve, might get under your skin, right? Same thing with the sisters. But at the end of the day, your mercy shall always outweigh those offenses, right?
God,
So let's keep going.
I got a strong precept that goes exactly with that. Real quick,
Time.
Ephesians 4:26. Right, it says here, it says, "Be ye angry and sin not." Right, so we gonna get tempted enough to be angered, right? Our patience is gonna run out, long suffering gonna run out at a certain point, right? So when you see that battery getting low, you gotta recharge your spiritual battery, right? Because when your thing is on red, 10% left on your phone, that's when flesh starts to try to come and creep in. No, you gotta recharge that thing to 80 and above and stay on 80 and above. Oh, I see my phone dying. Let me plug it in, right? So it says, "Be ye angry." We're gonna get mad at certain points of times, but we can't use that as a leisure of opportunity to commit sin. You're gonna be upset with your brother. You're gonna be upset with your sister, but don't sin not. And the sin is what? Transgressing the law. So don't transgress the law of hating your brother, hating your neighbor, hating your sister. Right? Don't sin. Don't do it. Make amends. Forgive them of their trespasses. Talk it out with your brother or your sister. Right? Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. So don't go to sleep at night, man. Man, don't do that, man, because you're furthering allowing sin to keep on dwelling in you. You need to have the proper tools and fixate your mind into rebuking those thoughts, man. Right? That's why verse 27 says here, neither give place to the devil, right? Rebuke them, rebuke those thoughts, rebuke to deceptiveness in your mind, right? So you could be mad, it's fine. We all get mad, we have these feelings and all of this stuff. We're in the image of the Most High, so we have a lot of his characteristics and attributes as well. He gets angry, right? So we get angry, but we can't be angry to the point where we're going to commit sin, and the sin is hating our brothers or hating our neighbors, right? Which is going on right here in verse 14, right? It says, if you bite and 15, but if you bite and devour one another, right? If you're angry at your brother or your sister, take heed that you be not consumed. Consumed of what? Consumed of the sinful nature and the fleshly nature that's going to kind of keep you on that grudge roll. You don't want to stay in that grudge. You don't want to be consumed with those thoughts. Consumed, we have to get that word for consumed. Watch this.
Bring it up.
Consumed definition. Boom. It says here, consumed, eat, drink, ingest, use up a resource. Let's take the D out. Good services, use
Just
up,
give it
utilize,
a two letter.
gobble up. I got you. Gorge oneself on, feast on, right? I'll get the blue letter right now. Let's go back.
Feast on goes into not because the thing is when you consumed with an ed, right, that means you like overthrown, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we don't want to be overthrown, right, with these different evil spirits of hatred, malice, envy, get back, right? Take I'm gonna take your girl, you took my girl, like these different spirits, you don't want to be fully devoured, right? You don't want to be fully eaten, to where there's nothing left in you, right? To fight back against these spirits. You just fully overtaken, right? I yield.
Right here
I think you
says
got. I think I pull up on the screen.
it is on the screen.
I still see the one from Google.
Oh yeah. That's why I want to get down here real quick. Right here. It says to have so much of a feeling that it affects everything you do.
Okay, that works.
Man.
that that works. That's exactly what it's talking about.
Mm-hmm. God. That's why I want to get. So you don't want to be consumed by enough anger, right? Going back, malice, hate, right? Biting and devour. You don't want to be consumed by this to a certain level that's going to affect everything, not just some things, not just no everything that you do. Right now, you're
Mhm.
walking on this path. You've been mad 2 months ago, and you still mad, and now you going off, and you just now you end up in a situation that you can't get out of, man, because you held that grudge for so long and that anger for so long. Now you in jail or something, man, because you beat them up. Oh, I'm gonna catch you slipping one of these days, and 3 months later, you catch them slipping, and now you locked up, man, doing life. You know.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what I wanted to bring out on that.
That's perfect. That's a perfect point, man. And like the brother went into, it's not only talking about. I don't think you brought it out like this, but it's not only talking about the hatred, the grief, and stuff like that. It's talking about sin. That other precept that you had brought out said exactly that. Like you just letting it linger around enough, eventually sin is gonna creep in, right? So we need to make sure that we on point, man, right, with these spirits. Read on verse 16.
Verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
And that's a commandment, right? Paul commanded us to walk in the spirit so that way we don't have to fall victim to the lust of the flesh, right? And when it says fulfill, that word, right? Look it up in the blue letter. Watch this. That word goes into believing, right? To believe in the flesh, to trust in the flesh, be faithful to the flesh. All right, watch
God,
this.
to bring to a close, to finish, to end, finish, to perform, execute, complete, fulfill, so that the thing done corresponds to what has been said. The
Mm-hmm.
order, command.
Go down. Go to Bible usage.
Uh, that
I
was
mean,
biblical use. Strong's, I got you.
Salaki, go down, definitions or whatever.
Complete, execute, conclude, discharge, accomplish, make an end,
Mm-hmm.
expire, fill up, finish, go over, pay, perform.
So when you put faithfully, Salaki, faithfully goes into belief or trust in it. But just like it says right there, to finish, right, to fulfill, to complete, right. So go back to Galatians 5 and verse number 16.
God, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and you shall not fulfill or complete, right? Um, the lust of the
The lust.
flesh.
Yeah, So you ain't gonna complete, meaning you ain't gonna fall victim to, right? You gonna be able to overcome that thing. Why? Because you walking in the spirit. That's all you think about. Walking in the spirit looks like this. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse number I believe I want 5 or 4 or 6, something like that. Deuteronomy 4.
Um,
It says you're gonna walk up the street and talk about the law.
Deuteronomy 6. Deuteronomy 6 and 4.
Yeah.
for 6 and 7. I'll start at
Yeah.
uh I'll start at 5. Deuteronomy 6 and 5. And thou shalt love Yahweh thy power with all thine heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
So this that's how it looks when it says this this I say then walk in the spirit, right? When you're being told something, right, a lot of times you're being commanded something. It's not a question. Paul is telling us to do this. Walk in the spirit. That's how it looked like. When you wake up, when you go to sleep, when you lie down, walk by the way, at work, off the job, in the car, at home. This is what you do. You just always stand in the spirit. You're thinking about the law, statutes, commandments, and testimonies and judgments of the Lord, how much mercy and how much grace he shows unto you, right? And this is what you talk about. You feel what I'm saying? So it's beautiful that this is even in Galatians, right, where it tells us to walk in the spirit, which is already commanded in Deuteronomy 6 and 5 on down, right? All
Mm-hmm.
praise to the Most High. You got a point?
Con, the point, yeah, walking in the spirit is we're walking with the law. The law is another word for guidance, right? What's the word? Torah meets what's the word for Torah?
To instruct.
To instruct, right? Instructions, guidance, one and the same. That all stems from the law, right? The Torah. So when we walk in the Torah, when we walk in the law, we are guided even in our of just simply of the keeping of the commandments, right? And when we go out into the world of darkness that we live in today, and damn Babylon, we know how to conduct ourselves in our daily walk, right? That's where proverbs and wisdom and understanding starts to come in, right? We need the wisdom that the Most High gave us, and we get the understanding of wisdom when we keep the law, right? So,
Uh,
therefore, we know how to conduct ourselves with wisdom, knowledge, understanding, all stems from the keeping of the commandments. And when we walk in the law, right, meaning walk in the spirit, pursuant to Romans chapter 7 and verse 14. You understand? So when it says you shall walk in the spirit, right? Meaning we shall walk in the law,
That's
right?
right. And then that goes into meditation. It got to be what you think about. Like the brother said, value. Whatever you value, that's the thing that's gonna overtake you. So we gotta hold the law at a high value, right? Rather than the things and the rudiments of this world, the things of this world, right? Where those things we value. Like you value watching Netflix. No, value reading your scripture. You
Mm-hmm.
value talking on the phone. No, value talking to God, right? So that's a big deal, man. I'm glad you brought that out. That's actually going to be probably our next video, right? All praises, right? But go ahead, verse 17.
Okay. Verse so let me go back. Boom. Verse 17, Galatians 5 and 17. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit,
Hmm.
and the spirit against the flesh.
Hmm.
And these are contrary the one to the other, so that
Hmm.
ye cannot do the things that ye would.
So when we read this, man, you gotta understand whatever you feed, that's the one that's gonna grow. If you feed the spirit gonna grow. You feed the flesh gonna grow. Right? This is why brothers always telling brothers, right? Stay away from the quick thing, right? Microwave type deal. You feel what I'm saying? Don't, you know, you ain't getting no whammy from your woman, so you go whammy yourself. Same thing, vice versa with the wife. You feel what I'm saying? You trying to all you doing is building up, you feeding the flesh, right? You stopped at the piggly wiggly, right? Because you ain't had no food cooked at the crib, right? No, bro, you feeding the lust of the flesh. You don't know what them people touching your food with, right? So this is a big deal where we grow one thing more than the other. That's why it says these are contrary one to another, so that ye cannot do the things ye would, right? This is good or bad. You would want to do bad, but you can't do those things because you're living in the spirit, right? You want to do that which is good, right? But you just always living for the flesh. So these both this works for both of the things, man. You feel what I'm saying? So we have to watch which one we feed, right? Read on.
Uh, and it says in verse 18, but if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law.
We're not under the law of damnation, right? We're not under the law of being damn, I think I need to go get there, huh? But we're not under the law of it's like when Christ, right? I'm just gonna tell a story, right? It's like when Christ, they came to Christ and telling him this woman, right, was caught in the act of adultery, right? What do you say that we should do? He said, whoever is without sin, cast the first stone. Because y'all trying to do judgment, right? But all y'all worthy of the death. All y'all worthy to be stoned. But you worried about because you call her, you want to bring her to get killed. Right? Nah. Judgment is of the Lord, right? Vengeance is of the Lord. You gotta check that spirit. You can't judge nobody. You can't harm anybody for their sins. That's on Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right? So when it's saying, right? When it's saying, but if you be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. You're not under the law of being judged by another man, by being having judgment placed upon you. If y'all understand what I'm saying, I think I'm saying it pretty plain, right? Verse 19. Unless you got something.
Nah, go ahead.
Verse 19.
Verse 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders or murderers, right? Drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh.
And if we go through and we break down each one of these and what their properties are, all of these happen quickly, right? Lust, that happens quick. You quickly look at something and say, ooh, I'll do this, ooh, I'll do that, right? Um, what it is, fornication, something quick. Woman just hop in your DM, right? Or you go to work and then all of a sudden the spirit hop on her. Y'all go hit the meat packing closet, right? And now you packing meat, right? And then you got the fornication. Fornication is any type of unhealthy sexual act, right? You getting pegged now. Now you want your woman to peg you, right? You jack, rubbing off one, right? You rubbing off one, right? You got all these different fornications festing in you because you're looking for a quick fix. All this is quick fix stuff. Reveling, right? When you up in the damn club going crazy to have fun for just a night. Everything that you do to take pleasure in for a moment, more than likely is going to lead up to sin or it is sin, right? But the things that's long lasting, we're going to read right now, right? And I want you to bring that out, whatever you got going, King. Go ahead.
Con. And this is verse number 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace.
Hold on. No, didn't you pull up something?
Yeah. I'm reading the
That's crazy. That's dope. Okay, I like that. All
yeah,
right.
I'm reading the verse while that picture's up. All right. Again, verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law.
Mm. And this right here, everything that's named, it takes time to develop, right? And it takes time to lose. Things that takes time to callous, that's the things that stay with you for the rest of your life, right? But everything that's quick, like rub on lotion, right, just to soothe your skin. If you took the time to eat correctly, you wouldn't get ashy, right? If you took time to watch the properties that you put into your body, right, you wouldn't get overweight, right? But you want a quick fix like liposuction when really all it took was temperance. It took balance in your diet, right? It took balance in your thinking, right? It took patience takes balance, takes temperance, right? To be able to suffer pain for a long period of time, right? Long suffering, right? That takes skills to develop. All the good things that we supposed to be doing takes a lot of skill to develop because as you see, there's a long list of evil things that's all quick fix, right? It makes you feel empowered for a second, right? But the things that make you feel power and blessed for long period of time, it's short. It's only a couple things, but these things last for a lifetime, right? So I wanted to bring this out because this is flesh. Flesh is quick. You always want you right to the flesh, right? But the spiritual things take time to develop, which is hard because you're dealing with the flesh the whole time. You building up these spiritual gifts, right? And I yield.
Con, I think I got something on that real fast. This is um
And I want the rest of this too, all the way to 26. But go ahead, King.
con right here. This is Matthew 20, right? It's like Matthew 20 and verse number uh 13. It says, "But he answered one of them and said, Friend, I do thee no wrong. Didst not thou agree with me for a penny?
Mm,
Take that, take that thine is, right, and go thy way. I will
mm,
give unto this last, even as unto thee." Now skip down to verse 15. Watch it. Is it not lawful for me to do what I will with my own? No, right? Because what you're trying to do on your own is not based on proper guidance of what you're guiding, right? Like I can do what I want, like I was, hey, but sometimes when you think you can do whatever you want, it's not going to end up good for you. Is not I evil because I am good? So the last shall be first, and the first last. For many be called, but few chosen. So on the first fold, of course, we know that when we all come into this humble nature, we're keeping the commandments, we're doing what we have to do, suffering patiently the wrath that is put upon us, and all these trials, and to make it into the kingdom. We're considered the last right now, right? But we're going to be first at the end of the day. But if you use it on another fold, right? Going back to that chart, right?
mm-hmm,
These works of the flesh is what's on us first when we're born into this world, right? That's first. The last are the fruits of the spirit. So
mm,
we take what's first and make that last, and take what's last and make that first. So we need to
mm,
put in front of the works of the flesh, the fruits of the spirit, rather, right? So
mm,
the last shall be first, and the first shall be last. See that? So we need to have a switch. We need to have what we were born with first and make that last. We need to have what we're obtaining lastly after the works of the flesh, which is the fruits of the spirit, and make that first in our daily walk. See that?
that's nice. Well said. Kind of confusing to the naked eye, but well said.
Going back.
That, that was a good precept, and that was a good way to bring that out. You got to put these things that we learn last first, and the thing that we learn first last,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is sin. We learn how to sin first, right out the tutor. You know what I mean? You go right into sin. They sticking you with needles, right? You shall make no cuttings in the flesh. Damn, that's
Man.
deep. All praise. All right. All
All praises to the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man.
right. All right. 24.
Verse 24. It says, and they that are Yahweh Shai's have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts.
And when you become Yahweh Shai, is when you learn his name, is when you learn who you are, is when you learn you need to repent. That's how you become Yahweh Shai. And what we do is we crucify the flesh so that way we could walk in the spirit of light, right? The spirit of the law. It's one of the most challenging things to do. Like the brother said, we was born into this sin. So it's like you gotta shave off 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years of your life and put something you just learning how to do and put in your life, right? You got to put that first, right? The things that you ain't learned till 30 years old, 20 years old, you got to put those new things first and those old things last. And that's killing the flesh, right? That's not living in the flesh, man. You know, and to be honest, man, it's not easy. That's why we got to have so much leniency with the brothers and sisters that we bring up in this truth as being leaders or stewards of the Lord's word, right? But all praise to the Most High, man. All praise to the Most High. That's a good point what you brought out. You got something? Because I want to keep going right quick. You got
Go ahead.
something?
I'll bring it out after. No, yeah, I do.
Okay,
I do got something before we lead off of that point. One
good,
second.
good.
Verse 24 right here, where it says, and they that are Yahweh Shai's have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. Right. So, being the children of Israel, being the 12 tribes, right, being descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we're all Yahweh Shai's right now because he redeemed us by his blood. He purchased us by the sacrifice the Most High made on the lamb, right? But here's the thing. We know that we're Yahweh Shai's, we know we're Christ, but our people do not want to accept that. They don't care enough to put off the affections and lusts enough in their mind to want to be his, right? That's why it says they that are Christ, they that are his, were purchased by Yahweh Shai, but our people don't want to be purchased. They don't want to be his. They don't want to be his possession, his servant. They don't want the yoke of Yahweh Shai on their necks, right? So they don't want that. Now, when we go to Leviticus 1, right? Verse number 3. Right here, watch this. If his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer it a male without blemish. So, of course, this time it's talking about literal animals, but in this time we need to offer our works, our servitude, keeping of the commandments, our faith, all of these attributes. We need to offer these things without blemish, right? Without it being tainted, not half stepping it. Now, no, we need to put it all in. We need to make sure our garments are clean when we're offering ourselves as a sacrifice to be in servitude to the acceptance of Yahweh Shai redeeming us, right? Reading on. He shall offer it of his own voluntary will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before Yahweh, right? Now, what is the door of the tabernacle today? What is the door of the tabernacle today? Let's go to John, right? Watch this. Boom. John chapter 10 and verse number verse 9, right? I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved and shall go in and out and find pasture, right? So today, Yahweh Shai is that door to the tabernacle, right? So what we have to offer, we have to offer a voluntary offering. I'm volunteering myself to go out to teach the law sheet. I'm volunteering myself to keep the commandments of the Most High. I'm doing all of this stuff willingly, right? more than more than I have to do it. I love to do it. I want to do it. I might even go out and do something extra, because we are accepting Yahweh Shai being that door, being that tabernacle, accepting ourselves being redeemed by him. So now we're his possession, we're under his yoke, we're his servants now, right? This is what we have to do. See that? So Leviticus 1, of course, is talking about us, like it, and we're doing all of these things without blemish, right? Without it being tainted, not half stepping it, doing the best of our ability to clean any stains of the flesh that stains up the spirit, right? So I just wanted to bring that out.
All praise to the Most High. All praises. Let's finish this out right quick.
What you got? Where we at?
Galatians 5 and verse number let's start
Eight.
at 25 again.
Oh yeah, 25. Con. Verse 25 says, "If we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit."
Go ahead.
Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another.
And this three spirits that's on Israel heavy, right? When you think about it, how the Lord said it, right? He said, "Let us not be desirous of vainglory," right? What does that look like? Hey, I'm gonna get this Porsche, I'm gonna get this Porsche and I'm gonna post it on the ground, what I mean? Flick up, yeah, hey, nigga, money, boom, all fake hundreds, right? Don't be desirous of vainglory, because what happens, right? Number two happens, right? It says provoking one another. This is how you get robbed, because hey, Lincoln, we in the building. You got the Lambo and he got the Rari. Look, yeah, right. And then now what you doing? You provoking him to envy you, right? Because now he want what you got. He want what you living like. You got women shaking rump all over, right? That's all vainglory. Then it goes into you provoking your brother, right? To envying one another, right? Now envy creeps in. So from one thing leads to another. Now sin is in the building, right? And then what comes after envying? Murder. This is what we seen in 2 Samuel chapter 11, right? We
Mm-hmm.
would have read it on. David ended up getting homie killed, right? So Paul is on some new level spiritual thing. This is why we got to become more spiritual as a people, really, by living the law, right? That's how you become more spiritual. You don't become more spiritual by rocks, sage, stones, and crystals, right? And dream catchers, right? You become more spiritual by practicing the laws of God, right? And this is heavy because vainglory, that's not a sin. Provoking one another, hey, the spirit of the law in the New Testament tells us that, right? Envying one another, that's Old Testament law, not to lust after another man's household, right? That right there is where the sin comes in there. But first is a process. Like we try to tell people, don't go out there with your shirt off, or don't go on the Facebook working out with your shirt off, because you're going to make another woman to lust. Women, put on clothes, because if you go on IG and Facebook with no clothes on, you provoking a man to lust, right? And it's not you being in your birthday suit or you showing off your work, your pecs, your ass, whatever, that's quote unquote, it's a sin for a woman, right? But for us, we ain't, so I ain't gonna go too deep in that rabbit hole. But what I'm saying is that you don't want to be the advocate or the aid in making somebody else sin. Somebody got a drinking problem. When they drink, they end up getting angry. You're not gonna come around with drink and say, hey, take a shot, take another shot. No, you're gonna say, hey, look, brother, maybe you should drink wine and remind yourself to get a water, right? Because this is the sin that he deal with, right? It's not the drinking, but when you drink, you get angry. Anger is a sin, right? So I just want to bring that out too, right? But you got something, King?
God, yeah, on the vainglory, right? It says, "Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another." Right, on another analogy, on
No,
another
that's in the
understand,
law too. Salaki.
on another understanding of that is when you desire vainglory and you get to the certain point where you're high and mighty, you're haughty, right? You have everything you want in the world. Flesh is going to start to inhabit your body more than you would of the spirit, right? And now you flashy, you got all these cars, you got a big house, and you posting it on the gram and social media. Now you're provoking another brother or another sister to want to have vainglory as well. Oh, I need that, right? But on the fold that you had said out, which was powerful, now they plotting to rob you, plotting to murder you, plotting to do everything to take you down through sin, through wickedness. On
Mm-hmm.
another fold I want to apply that to is now you're leading who you're supposed to be leading with your light, your so-called light, your false light, I would rather say, which is vainglory. You're leading the sheep and you're not feeding them what you ought to feed them, right? If I were to ever get in a position like that, right? Nice house, got rich all of a sudden, right? I would utilize those tools to further the building up of the spirit of the nation, right? And through the will of Yahweh. Um, so therefore, we'll feed the sheep in another instance of that. People are feeding the sheep and leading the sheep to destruction to the point where they're envying them and you're provoking them to be like you in a vain glorious state. What did Yahweh Shai tell Peter in, was that John 21? And okay, yeah, right here. John 21 and 15 says, "So when they had dined, Yahweh Shai said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my lambs," right? Or feed the sheep. Or verse 16, watch. "And he said unto him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, Feed my sheep." Right? One more for the books. He saith unto
Mm-hmm.
him the third time, "Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me?" Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, "Lovest thou me?" Right? Like, you don't believe me? Like, I'm telling you, I do. Right? So Yahweh Shai is, oh, if you love me, okay, I need to see something on that. I want to see you do it. You say it. I'm asking you this much times because I want to actually see it. Not that I'm saying that you're not gonna perform, you're not gonna do the actions, but I'm just letting it be known simply that I want to see it, right? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things, thou knowest that I love thee. Yahweh Shai said unto him, Feed my sheep, right? So if we truly love the Lord, we truly love the commandments, we truly love Yahweh Shai, we truly love our people, what we're gonna do is here in verse 26 is we're gonna not provoke our people and lead the sheep and feed the sheep unto vainglorious things, not putting them in the position to envy you in your glorious state, right? But
Mm-hmm.
rather feed them good things, feed them things that pertain to the feeding and the growing up of the spirit, right? That's what we should feed the sheep. You can act like you're leading the sheep, you bring them into your barnyard, but then you feeding them gall and vinegar. No, we need to take these sheep and we need to feed them spiritual fruits and the bread of understanding and the waters of wisdom. That's what we need to feed our sheep, right? So no matter what position that you're in, even if you're in a glorious position, you're rich, you got cars, you're well off, money in the bank, all of this stuff. Make sure if you're gloried in any estate, make sure that it is not vain, but make sure you're glorying the Most High rather than that. See that?
It's kind of like don't be GMO, right? Don't be GMO grass, where they put enhancement in it, right? But be that grass that actually took time from toiling the soil, watering it, right? Making sure the sheep don't touch it for a period of time, right? Be that grass, you know what I mean? To where you got two pastures, one of them they eat now and one of them they eat later, but all of it is organic, right? You don't want to be that guy that say, "Oh, we rushing, the sheep are starving, we need the GMO the grass." You don't want to be that GMO, man. You don't want to give the people that GMO grass, man, that nutrition, right? That's ass shaking, right? Weed smoking, pill popping, pistol popping, uh, brother shooting. You don't want to give that grass, that GMO. I don't love grass, that hate grass. You want to give them that love grass, right?
Mhm.
That the laws, right? Patience, showing that you could be gentle, showing that you also could give harsh correction, right? But then be gentle afterwards, showing that you don't hold grudges, being overly forgiving, right? These things this is the new grass that we need to feed off of, so we could show the sheep that this is the grass you want to be a part of, right? Not the GMO culture, right? But the original organic culture, right? So beautiful and well said. Give for me Second Corinthians chapter 6, right? And we want verse 14, right? And I'm gonna end off with Proverbs
Uh,
because
this
I
is
gotta head out that way.
this is First Corinthians 6 and verse number 14. It says, "And Yahweh have both raised up the Lord, and will also raise up us by His own power."
Second Corinthians 6 and
Oh,
14.
Slucky, King Slucky. Oh,
And pull it up this time, Baba Kusha.
Second Corinthians 6 and verse 14. It says, "Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers."
So a big point that gets us to go off and commit sin is because you hanging around these unbelievers, right? The sum of the five people that you hang around will be you, right? You don't have to sit around the barbershop. If you chill with the people around the barbershop, eventually you're gonna go get a haircut, right? Because they're gonna talk about what they talk about, and you're gonna get psyched up and psyched in, right? So you the sum of the five people that you hang around. Don't be unequally yoked with unbelievers. Just because you love them, don't mean that you need to be around them. Just because you
Mhm.
love them, don't mean that you need to talk to them every day. Because people carry spirits, and they put spirits out, and you let the spirit inhabit, right? So don't do that. Let's read on. He going this a triple whammy. He gonna triple down, right? Go ahead.
Uh, it says, "Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness?"
They don't have any, right? Because both of them are they go this way, they north and south, right? It's either you
Mhm.
gonna come north, right, or you gonna go south. So it's telling you can't chill around unrighteous people, because if you're righteous, you're gonna become unrighteous, or they need to chill around you or hear from you, right? So they could become righteous being unrighteous. But both of y'all, if you stuck in your way and they stuck in there, y'all not supposed to link, right? Because unrighteousness is contrary, right, to righteousness. Go ahead.
Con. "And what communion hath light with darkness?"
They run from one another. They don't sit around each other, right? So the same way with us and unbelievers, right, is the same way with light and darkness. Once you turn on the light, the darkness go away. Once you turn off the light, the darkness come back, right, and the light go away, right? Always remember that they both don't work together, north and south, right? Read the next verse, Baba Kusha.
Con. Real quick, I want to pull this. Look at this. Look at this picture. Even this,
Con.
even this ocean right here. this ocean is in the same waters, but they're two different oceans and they don't mix.
One is the Atlantic and one is the Pacific.
See, yeah, that's crazy. See that? They still
Yep,
don't.
they
Even
just
in
don't.
nature, they still don't mix.
Man,
That's wild.
that's
Uh,
crazy. And then there's only a select few number of shark that's actually able to switch to that other water.
mm-hmm.
Right? Most things that try to go into that other water, they die, right? Because it's too much sodium,
Right.
right? So that's a good point. They just don't click clack. You feel what I'm saying? Same way with us, man, and unbelievers. We don't click clack like that. There's no reason for me to sit down with you and have a drink with you for hours, 2, 3, 4 hours, right? And we never talking about the Bible. It don't. I I can't be around you like that. If I'm with an unbeliever, right, and at 30 minutes, right, we could get into a scripture or two. I could rock with you for a couple hours, right? More than two, I don't know, right? But you can't just stay around them. That can't be your best friend, man. Somebody gonna turn somebody else out. You know what I mean? It's like if you sit around a pretty girl, or a pretty girl sit around a handsome man for a certain amount of time. Hey, feelings happen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna bite. You're gonna bite. She's gonna rub you a certain way. He's gonna look at you a certain way, put his tonality of his voice a certain way, and you're gonna want to jump on, right? That's the same way with righteousness and unrighteousness. If those two sit around each other, one gonna become the other. You're the sum of the five people you hang around. Let's go back.
Let me exit slightly.
And I want that verse 15.
Verse 15. And what concord with Yahushai with Belial?
Meaning, how do they mix? Right, concord goes into a mixture, right, of grape and sugar. You feel what I'm saying? And whatever yeast property you're gonna use. Concord, right? They mix together, right? What mixing does Christ have with the devil? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel?
Right. A person that believes ain't gonna dwell around the infidel or unbeliever for a long period of time. Right.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna come a time where I have to say this conversation can't go no further because you don't believe what I believe. Right. You sitting here talking about the next woman you gonna pop and leave. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to keep the woman I got. Right. We can't chill for long, right? Because you're gonna put spirits on me, right? That I don't need, you know. So one more and we out of here. Give me
God.
Proverbs 23 and 32.
This is Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 32. It says, at the last it biteth like a serpent and stingeth like an adder.
Oh, my bad, Salakia. Start up at a verse probably like 27. Salakia. Let me see. Go
I
up.
think I think you want 30.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Just two
God.
verses up. Yeah.
Verse 30. They that tarry long at the wine, they that go to seek mixed wine.
Right. All this goes into sin, right? Those that go to seek sin, right, or pleasure, right? Those people, it's only a matter of time. Go ahead.
Look not thou upon the wine when it is
Just like
red.
David, Salakia, just like David said, right? He said, "Fret not that the wicked prosper," right? Because at one point he was looking at the wicked like, "Damn, like the Lord giving y'all all that, like, you know what I mean?" Right? So we can't look at the sin like that's a good thing, right? Like I just saw my brother, right, that's he trying to turn into my sister on Instagram, right?
Mm,
And I can't sit there and say, hey, look, from you taking those hormonal pills, you know, your chest look a certain way, right? Or you know, you're endorsing faggotry, right? You can't endorse sin, right? If you endorse sin, you just as bad. Same way, it says, "Look not thou upon the wine when it is red." Right? Don't look upon sin like it's good. Right? Even though it looks good to your flesh, it's evil. Right? Porn looks good when you look at it and you think about it, but it's evil. You know what I mean? Now you committing adultery, right? And you ain't even get to really, at least if you're gonna die, you know what I mean? You might as well go banger. You know what I mean? Now you get but that's what happens though. You get enticed because it's red. You get enticed because the sin looks good, feel good, right? But it's not good. Go ahead.
God, look not thou upon the wine when it is red, when it giveth his color in the cup, when it
Mm.
moveth itself aright,
Go ahead.
at the last it biteth like a serpent and stingeth like an adder.
Read on.
Thine eyes shall behold strange women, and thine heart shall utter perverse things.
He's letting you know that when you get under the influence of anything, not even talking about mind altering substances, just mind altering situations. Like if you get around a certain person, they're going to alter the way you live, right? You live in a place where you don't eat bacon and you don't go to food places that serve bacon. And then you hang around people that go to those food places that serve bacon. Eventually, you're going to go to that food place that serve bacon, right? So the main thing is that you got to not be around these situations that's influencing your mind, right? You don't want to be around mind influencers, right? That influence you to do wickedly. You want to be around the people that do righteous things, like the scriptures tell you. If you find a man of wisdom, right, wear out the footsteps of his door, loosely paraphrasing. That's who you want to have a conversation with. Malachi chapter 3, no, Micah, hold on. Malachi chapter 3, verse 16 tells you those that love the Lord and fear the Lord spake often one to another. That's who you want to speak often with. You don't want to speak often with an unbeliever, your mama, your daddy, whoever, not serving the Lord. You don't want to deal with that person like that because they're going to get you off a course, man. Right? So, and if you, like I said, you just looking at it in a certain way, or you just taking sip for sip, right? Eventually it's gonna bite you. Listening to rap music is not a sin, right? But listening to it constantly will put a spirit on you. Now the next thing you know, you rolling up a spliff, man, backwoods stogie, taking a Percocet, putting ecstasy in her rump, right? Because you done listen to so many songs, you done sip so much wine. Now you're knee deep in it, right? And I yield. That ends my lesson.
God, that was mighty. That was mighty. All praises. All praises. I want to
Ah,
so quick point on that. Of course, the topic, right, for y'all viewers, build up your spirit and kill the flesh. So what we see is that we got to constantly keep building up our spirit to be more mightier and mightier and mightier, right? To be able to kill off the flesh, because the flesh can get strong too, depending on what you're feeding it. Now you're in a constant battle with the flesh, but you always got to be mightier in the spirit to be able to withstand the wiles of the devil, withstand the flesh. Now you might think you kill the flesh off completely, right? Bury it into Sheol, put it in the grave, but then that flesh comes out of that grave again, right? Like a damn zombie. Now you have to be more strong and susceptible to understand, yeah, I killed off the flesh, but he might come like back like the living dead. And when he do so, you want to be strong enough in the spirit to be able to kill it again and again and again and again until the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Yahweh Shai come back and completely destroy for you. Right, we got to
mm,
tussle with it in the ring for a long time until Yahweh Yahweh Shai come back to be able to destroy for you completely. Right, we're gonna be in that battle until the kingdom come, man. So keep building up your spirit, man, and keep killing that flesh. Keep putting off that flesh, man. Right, all
Con,
praise to the Most
con.
High.
All praises. Whatever one you feed, that's the one that's going to grow, right? That's just like they said with demons. Whatever demon you feed, man, that's the one that's going to overcome you, right? So feed the spirit and stop feeding the flesh, man. Starve the flesh out, man, right? Not stall them out, Debo, right? But don't feed them, right? Don't feed them,
Mm-hmm.
Debo, right? We need to like really just tell the flesh no a lot, right? So that way our spirit could grow. Right. So with that, man, I want to say call law Abanaw Yahweh by Shem Malak Yahweh Shai. All praises, man. Another one. Shalom, family.
All praise to the Most High. Shalom, family. See y'all next week.
Kwam Yasha.